Here at the Giver Marketing Network, we don't leave you drifting out in space. We connect you to a coach who will help you build and grow your marketing business. Our process acts as a guide on how to connect with other businesses, maintain good relations, and establish a presence on the Giver Marketing Network. Each member within this collaborative group will have the opportunity to leverage your talent and influence, a true network effect. If you are looking to collaborate on more projects, welcome to the Giver Marketing Network, the most trusted and highest rated collective of specialists on the planet. Here we have a group of like-minded professionals who focus on making valuable introductions and helping each other grow by teaming up. Imagine Upwork meets a network and a coach. The talent collectively includes services like visibility and SEO, creating logos, designing websites, managing social media, outreach messaging, visual storytelling, and much more. Think of what you could do with laser-focused allies strengthening your business while offering your talent to the entire network. Click near this video for more information.
Hey y'all, so excited. Welcome to Giver Marketing Network. I'm Christine Teen. I'm team director here, and we've got fun things planned today. Shout out to all of our great followers out there, our marketing professionals and business owners that are looking to upscale their marketing. We are blessed to have Jack Rand with us today and my sidekick, Nicholas. Hello. Glad you could join us. But Jack is going to share his wisdom with us today. And I am so excited. Jack comes with a background with coaching experience, more of a business coaching style, sales coaching. And so that's not my area of expertise. So I am really excited to hear what he has to say today. So shout out to, let's see, we've got Kingdom Warriors out there watching and some other groups that we're hanging out with. So welcome. And let's have some fun today. Jack, tell us a little bit about you. You got your origin story. How did you get to do what you're doing now?
As it turns out, this is what I was always supposed to be doing. I've been told throughout my life that I'm a teacher, and the question became, where's the best fit for me? And so it turns out that being a coach, a business coach, is the best fit. It started I got that awareness when I was at HP. I was an inside sales guy. And my first course I could take after training, I took a coaching class. So I saw that later after I started my coaching practice. What I've done, do you want me to go this far? We kind of transition into the next thing?
Keep talking. It's okay. All good. Jack, tell us about you.
Sure. What I did with HP, I was originally hired as a, pre-sales technical support. And then they moved us into the SMB, small to medium-sized business sales. That's not a spot I really wanted to be, but they gave it to me. From my targeting background, which I developed my first course called, at that time, Sharpshooter Marketing Course. Now it's called Find Your Niche. It's where you can, how to find more of your best customers. That's the theme of it. I took that concept, and when I was on the sales floor, that's what I did. I was targeting, and I put together a process that I used. I built a territory from $250,000 a quarter up to over $800,000 a quarter in about 18 months. And I had a system that I used to do that. Then when I graduated from HP, I started my coaching practice. It's something I always wanted to do. Along the way, people started asking me, Jack, how do you sell? Well, I began to say, well, here's what I did. I kind of start to show them the things. Most everyone would say to a person, I need to close more business, believing that their closing skills are weak. Sometimes they are, but most of the time they're not, right? Or that they're doing something wrong. Well, what I did was I had to develop a way to show them that it's a process and it has steps. So I put together my 7 simple sales steps. Over time, this developed. It wasn't right away, as a diagnostic tool. So I could show them where their process was broken and how to fix it. Over time, it became the framework I use now to teach selling, and so that people can now be effective in a very short period of time. And because what happens is when you're a self-employed service provider or a coach, what happens is that you mush the marketing and the sales process together. It becomes very confusing. The classic dividing line between marketing is marketing develops a sales lead, sales closes it.
Mhm.
When you're self-employed, you mush them all together, it gets confusing. So all I ask you to do is sell step to step. Just go to the next step and take it one step at a time. You'll be very successful very quickly. Now, one of the guys that I taught to do this, his name is Doug. I have permission to tell the story. He said, Jack, full disclosure, he's a retired Air Force colonel. I'm a crusty colonel. I asked him, how's that working for you? And he says, not so well. So he started to teach him how to sell. And I taught him the process. I talked to him just about a month ago, and he thought I was calling him for him to teach my networking mastery course, right? Because that's what I told him. That's what he loves. Well, I said, Doug, tell me your numbers. Where did we start at? Where are you now? He said, well, Jack, I was at 35,000 a year when we started. Now I'm at about 123, on an annual basis. And he has a team working with him, using the process. So that's where I hang my hat. That's what I do with clients. I'm actually a sales transformation specialist. I work with people that need to sell to grow their business, and most of them don't like to. And most of it's caused by the stuff we learned over time. It's stuck in our head. The over pushy sales guy, the telemarketer that calls you at dinner time. And what do you say to yourself? I don't want to be like that.
That's so true, right? And when you think about salespeople, we're like, oh no, I don't want to be the pushy salesperson. Nobody wants to have that title. And oh my goodness, Jack, yes.
Yes. So here's what I do in my classes. And I do this, I've done this for years. I'll ask you, who here in the class just can't wait to get up in the morning and sell? Who can't wait? I'll get out of 10, 15 people, I get one or two people that raise their hand like this. Kinda, right? Okay, got it. When I ask them, who here loves to teach? All the hands go up. So to transform that, all you got to do is look at it differently. Because if we went in and took every little incident and tried to sword fight it and fix it, we'd be there forever. When we just do the transformation, you now have the opportunity to transform that for yourself in a heartbeat and become a teacher to people. The trick is how do you do that? Because it doesn't fit into the old sales model. So we give you a new model to follow. The beginnings of that model, which is what I want to talk about today as well, is about, finding more of your best customers. Now, what you have to understand is that most people think about, well, I have an ideal customer. What does ideal mean? Ideal means perfect. That means it doesn't exist. There's never the perfect wife or the perfect husband, except me, of course. Right? Yes. Right. So you can't find them because you don't know what they look like. However, if you develop a profile of your best customer, those are the ones where you get paid, where you love to work with them. They're fun. Okay. They take advice. They take some action. That's the hallmarks of your best customer. Once you develop a profile of them, you can find more of them because you know what they look like. How does that work? At the base of your brain, right in here, there's a reticulating formation. It's a very primitive part of the brain. Part of its job, besides fight or flight response and breathing, is to identify patterns. That's how come you can spot bananas in the market. You see the pattern. If you had no idea what a banana looked like, you'd have a tough time finding it. Once you see the profile of your best client, you can now see more of them. Now you know the pattern. They show up for you automatically. Evidence for this. When you buy a new car, or you get a new car, to you anyway, when you start driving it around, what do you start to see immediately?
All the other cars on the road that look just like yours?
Exactly. That you automatically do it. So that's how the automatic system works. Mm-hmm. So what we want to talk about now is once you understand that's how it works, that's the marketing side of what I do. We're showing you how to identify your clients. So you get in the right position, which means you're doing some marketing activity, right? You now know the profile of your best customer. You're now going to be more successful. Make sense? It's
Absolutely.
automatic. It's innate. When you talk to people, you're automatically going to talk to their profile because you know why they buy. So you're speaking right to that. If they don't have needs that you can fill, it's best not to go any further. You can still love them, right? They might be a friend, just not the right fit for your business. So you get to say, we'll talk again later. Totally okay. It saves you a bunch of time because you're going to spend about 85% of your time marketing, trying to find new customers. Most of that's wasted unless you know exactly what to look for. Make sense? Okay.
Absolutely. And Jackie, I think you bring up a good point, right? You're wasting your time if you're trying to sell somebody that doesn't need your stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody's my client. Everybody's a potential customer, right? That's kind of a trap we get tied into. And it's like, no, spend your energy on those that really are your ideal client, right?
Yeah. And I don't know the exact word for this, but if everyone's your customer, no one's your customer.
Mm-hmm.
If everyone was your customer, here's what I argue. There would be a line at your door, either online or in person, for people buying what you have. So that can't be true. Now, everyone needs air, right? That's true, right? But are you selling air? Not really. Maybe hot air. So let's see here. So the secret to attracting your best customers is knowing what they look like. That's the first thing. Now, how do you almost double your sales? We'll talk about that. Pardon me. The truth is, about 80% of your revenue is going to come from 20% of your clients. Those are your best clients. If you look and get the profile of your top 20%, you're now going to know your best clients. So you have a choice. One way is if you want to double your sales, you simply say, well, gee, I have 100 clients. I'll get 100 new clients, right? And I average sale $100 or whatever it is. I'll double my sales. On the other side, you say, gee, I want to almost double my sales. If you double your profile, so you take 20 clients, that's all you need, grab those, you're going to almost double your sales. And it's a much easier process. So that's how you do that. So I know we have a limited amount of time today, so I want to make you an offer. If you'd like to find out more, you can go to my website at jackrand.com. On the right-hand side, you'll see my handsome face. On the left-hand side, you'll see my program, Sell Step to Step. You can download my 7 simple sales steps. It's free to you. And as a gift, I will send you my quote of the week. It's something I publish on Tuesday mornings. That is inspirational, and I write to it to help you build your sales and marketing skills. That's a gift for you for that are here and not in the room. If you're in the room and you like to get it, simply, and Nicholas, put your in the chat. Whoever would like to get that in the chat, give me your steps and with your email address, and I'll send it to you personally. And I'll put you in a drawing to win, right, a PDF copy of my book. You're muted, Christine. Did you say something?
Nothing important. I was just saying how much we love freebies, that's always wonderful. So thank you for your generosity there.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I was at 10 minutes. Is that how we do this?
We're still going. So don't worry about it. We've got tons of questions for you without a doubt. We've got on our hands here a sales kind of person that understands marketing. And so I'm sure we have questions for you. I know we've had some people talking about, Julie is talking about really important to define your specific niche, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that really plays into what you were talking about. If you want to elaborate anything on that.
Yeah, I can. Can you show me your slide? Can I show me slides?
Absolutely.
Okay. So the first slide, what it shows is your target market. And your target market, it has on, in the center is your sweet spot. What goes into that is your distinction. That's who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, your values. And then on the other side, you have your products and services. At the bottom, the market is business to business or business to consumer. Those all three overlap to create your sweet spot. That's where you want to hunt. So if we go to the next slide, my point about this is your best customer. Everyone out there, everyone's your customer. They're out there everywhere. Your target market is a subset of that. Mine is services. Inside that is your niche. Your niche is someone, right? Part of your niche is like inside services. Mine is like coaches and self-employed service providers, like marketing people, etc. Then inside that, right, is your avatar. If you take away target market, take away niche, you have your avatar all by itself. It's like impossible to find them because they're out there everywhere. But if you get your target market, then your niche, your avatar's inside your niche or niches, right, you now can find them because you know where to hunt, you know how to market, you know where they are, where they hang out. Make sense? So my avatar is someone who is not in their second or third career. They've established a business. It's being successful, and they're struggling to scale or grow it. Plus, they've done other programs. Usually, they are struggling with selling.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the key. Those, to a person, that fits the people I work with.
Yeah, and the stronger you understand who that niche is and who your ideal client is, you know where to target, where to go, you can start thinking about where to meet them, how to interact with them, you know, what exact services they're looking for. So makes sense to me.
Thanks.
I love it. Go figure. You have a whole business wrapped around this, huh?
Yeah, go figure. The setup part of my business. And what I'm doing coming up, I'll make an announcement. On June 14th, I'm doing my Find Your Niche class, where we go through this in detail. We'll take a deep dive on your business so you can find your target market and your niche. And you'll find your avatar along the way. So you'll know exactly how to speak to them. That's coming up on June 14th. If you would like information on that, right, you can simply put, I guess the best way to do this is put that niche into the chat with an email address, right? And I'll reach out to you and contact you. Or you can go to my website at jackranda.com and you can find information, you know, on the courses.
And I'd say you've got your courses listed there, right?
I do. Also at the top, there's a little, very top on the nav bar, you'll see the connect. You can connect with me. Just jump on my calendar.
Fantastic. Do we have any more slides you want to share with this, Jack? Or
well, the next slide is simply your best customers. Generate 80% of your revenue or profit. They're fun and easy to work with. No PITAs. Do you know what a PITA is?
oh yes, we've all had them at one point or another, and you're like, "Can I give them away?"
Yeah. It's a strategy and an acronym. Reflect your distinction of who you are. You'll get paid, and there's more of them in your sweet spot. So almost double your sales. Formula number one disappeared. Formula number one is the one I said about double your customers, double your sales. Formula two, 80% of your customers generate, 20% of your customers generate 80% of your revenue. Top 20% are in your sweet spot. Duplicate your sweet spot, almost double your sales.
That makes sense.
Those are my slides.
Well, so if you know your sweet spot, right, then you know where you need to be targeting. Timothy's watching from, and he's saying, would it be good to post our avatar in the comments? I love that. Absolutely. Share your avatar with us. Who's your avatar? Do you know who they are? Have you put any thought into it yet? And if not, now's a good time to start thinking about it.
Yeah. And then from there, you can either go, you can go one way or the other. You can start at the top, right, and work down toward your avatar. Or if you know your avatar, you can work back up, find your niche, find your target market. Then you know where to hunt. Because once you find out where those people hang out, now you know where to go to find them. And it's either, what are you going to do? Social media, in person, networking. What are you going to do that? I have a course called Networking Mastery that shows you exactly how to connect with people. In fact, most people I've talked to say, Jack, I spend an hour and a half at a networking meeting, and I don't connect with people. What's up? In class, we'll show you how to connect in 3 minutes or less. Promise. And you have to practice in class with a live and Zoom person.
So real role play.
But yeah, it's a real thing. Because most people don't know each other. So I put two people in a room together, and all I ask them, just do the process.
So this is one of those believe in the process and you'll get where you want to go, right?
Yeah, but now you have a baseline for it, because no one has a baseline for what networking is supposed to be like. So when I show them the baseline, they now have an experience of it. They can now recreate it because they know. And when I started this process, I started networking, 15 years ago. And I looked around the room, because a networking room, I was like outside. No one, I didn't know anybody. I was the guy standing alone, like the kid not picked for the baseball team. So I had to figure out a way to make this work. As I watched, no one knew how to network. So I figured, well, this is impossible. So I put together my own system, and that's what I teach in networking mastery. And so it's a process where you just connect with someone in like 3 minutes at a networking meeting, and then go to your next step. If they're the right fit, you go to a next step, a coffee meeting. I found that by being at a networking meeting, trying to have a conversation with a guy, and I said, wait a minute, why don't we just meet for coffee? He goes, great idea. So now I do that much faster. So in about 5 minutes or so, I'm going to know whether they're the right fit to move forward. I simply ask him. So I can go there and meet 5 people and go home.
Find your ideal clients. And I always say, if I've gone to a meeting and I found one person that was my ideal, avatar, it was a successful meeting as far as I'm concerned, just even one, right? And you can have a whole room full of people, right? Coming up with an efficient way to make this work. I'm a big fan of networking as a form of marketing. So Jack, I'm a fan.
Yes, love it.
What do you think? We pull in some team members who might have some questions for you, because I'm sure they've got some sales kinds of questions. Let's see who's ready to pull in. Let's see, Dimitri's here. Hey, Dimitri, welcome. Deanna's here.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, I see Joel. And here's Oz. Look, everybody's showing up. You've got a popular topic everybody wants to hear about.
I love it. Oh, Julie, by the way, I'm looking at this, says, when do you know it's time to increase your rates? Mm-hmm. Now is a good time. Why wait? I had one client that said, Jack, I'm going to increase my rates in like 3 months. I said, why? Goes, I said, what about now? You don't do it to existing clients. Let them alone. Your new ones, tell them your new rate. Why not? So he says, okay. So he calls me back in 2 days. He said, Jack, I did that with 2 new clients. I now have increased my rates by 30%. Thank you.
That's been an issue going on lately too, with the inflation and the prices going up. I've had a lot of clients talk to me about that too, and they're nervous because I haven't raised my rates right. Well, if it's been a while, you deserve it, right? You work hard, you do what you're supposed to do, you provide good customer service, you give your clients what you want. Why would you not make sure that your rates reflect that?
Here's the trick with that. If you take in carte blanche, raise everybody, all your customers, your rates, right? You can lose some customers, and that may not be what you want to do. So what I've done historically is I've left my clients alone. When I do a rate increase, new people coming in, they get the new package. Mm-hmm. People that you're working with right now, they will pay a higher rate when you change the service package. Mm-hmm. So that's but over time you'll do that.
But grandfather clause, right?
Yeah,
the old clients had the current price and the new ones on board with the newer prices.
You bet.
I love it. This way you don't have to scare your current clients, right?
You don't scare them. You still maintain your cash flow, which is important for all of us. Yes. Yeah, and keep moving. I'll tell my clients, look, I'm raising my rates, but not for you right now. They go, okay, thank you. Right? And they're fine.
Exactly.
But now when I've made the announcement, when I go back and we're talking about a new service level, they understand the price is going to be a little bit more, but they're ready for it.
Awesome. I'll look in the comments. Meanwhile, why don't we see if anybody in the room's got some questions for Jack? What are those sales questions you've been wanting to ask, but you haven't done it yet?
Joel.
Hey, Jack, great to see you again. I've enjoyed speaking with you in the past, and always great to hear your wisdom. Quick question for you from a few people that I've been speaking with lately was around the idea of a strategic partnership where they're not necessarily strong salespeople, but they have a specified audience. How would you recommend they go about setting up a strategic sales partnership?
The way I have done the partnerships, if I'm doing one like that, is are you sharing services to provide to the client?
Yeah, that would be the ultimate goal, correct?
Correct. Okay. So the way I do it is like, and you say, well, okay, well, look, well, we're going to charge the client, $5,000. So you get 2,500, I get 2,500. Okay. But Joel, you're doing the sales, correct?
Correct.
So what I like to do is give whoever sells the account more of the lion's share. So now they get 60%, the other person gets 40. There's a reward built into that for you, the salesperson. The other person may not like it, but like, okay, then go do the sales yourself. But I don't know how to sell. Well, there's a cost. Everyone has a customer acquisition cost. 10% is cheap. I know I've done business where sometimes you get the client in and sometimes you just break even on that first client of the first thing because that's your customer acquisition cost. If you're just paying 10%, you're really getting away cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Sure.
More sales kinds of questions.
Oz, you have something?
I'm a bit unique. I'm a digital impressionist artist. I've worked with marketing people that have no idea how to market an artist, so I do all my own marketing. I pay all my bills with my art. I have influencers chasing me. I have investors chasing me. So this year is going to be a phenomenal year. It is a phenomenal year. Got to put the right words out in the universe. The challenge is when I look. My close is fairly easy. When people contact me and they're sending me for my custom art, their photos for me to create these beautiful digital oil paintings, the sale's pretty much already made. It's a matter of, because it's usually word of mouth that they're hearing from me. It's a matter of getting in front of more of the right people. They do not have enough of the right people. Pretty sure what my avatar is. I know what my CAC is. I know what my COIs are. Center of influence. Getting in front of the right people is the biggest challenge that I'm facing right now. I want to quadruple, quintuple, 10 times, 20 times the amount of clients I have because I have the bandwidth to handle them. And I want to get to the point where when I don't, then I hire people and teach them what I do. So how do I find more of the clients that I'm looking for that will be raving fans? Because I have raving fans. They just don't give me enough leads.
Yeah. What are you doing? Because for marketing purposes.
A lot of networking, a lot of one-to-ones. That's the majority of what I do. Okay. I post on LinkedIn twice a week, but like I said, I don't sell. What I do sells itself. So I market just not enough. Let's put it that way.
Okay. You're limited because you're the one doing the marketing. Mm-hmm. That's a huge time suck.
Not for long, but right now, yes.
Okay. So what are you changing?
I don't understand the question.
I said that you're doing the marketing yourself, correct? The networking, et cetera. You said not for long, that's going to change. What is going to change?
$1 million investment.
Okay, so you're going to have money to spend to get some effort to generate clients, correct?
Correct. I have lots of marketing agencies chasing me who have heard that money is coming. So I'm interviewing a lot of them right now, many of whom I know very, very well. My challenge, and I've probably discussed this with Christine and probably Joel as well, is I must hire the right people surrounding me this year. I cannot make mistakes. Has to be the right agencies, has to be the right TikTok trainer, has to be the right LinkedIn. And I have all these people lined up already, but are they the right people? How do I know?
Oh, yeah. Well, number one, you never really know.
I knew that was the answer.
Okay. What you do know is when I've built sales teams, I know that I had a profile of the salesperson I wanted. They had the right characteristics. Then I'd hire them. And I was right, 4 out of 5 times. Okay. Someone always changes out. So you're probably going to make some mistakes with it. If you don't give yourself the elbow room to make a mistake, you're going to hamstring yourself. You're going to make a mistake. The trick is to know what you want. You have the right skill sets, you get a gut feel like these people feel like the right feel. They got the right skill sets, etc. When I was hiring salespeople, they had to have sales experience. I knew that. I had no time to train them from zero. So you're going to look at your ad agencies or whoever do they have the right skill sets in the right marketplaces for you? Get some look at their work. Does it connect with you? Does it make sense? Does it resonate with you? You're going to start to be on the right track. You'll more than likely get more correct than you're not. But when it's not right, you got to cut it fast and move on. But you're always looking. You're going to make a mistake.
When I look at my ROI, after let's say 3 months with an agency and it's no better than it was previously, then I'll know I'm probably not working with the right people.
That could be true. Or is it the messaging that you're trying? Right? What message did you try? Right? Did it work? Did it not work? Right? So there's a lot of techniques inside the marketing piece of it where you have to look to find out if you're doing the right things. They may give you advice. You may say, no, I'm not doing that. Then you go back and pay attention to their advice and it works, or the vice versa.
Well, Jack, have you heard of Simon Sinek?
Yes.
All right. Well, Simon says people don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it.
Right.
Okay? And when people ask me, why do you do what you do? I said, well, to relieve stress, lower blood pressure, and make my clients look and feel amazing. Simple. Mm-hmm. I'm not an artist. I lower stress, I relieve blood pressure, I make my clients look and feel amazing. So that is my end goal for people purchasing my art and my artware. Getting that message out to enough people, generally high net worth people, because my custom art is not cheap. It's a lot of work, is the challenge that I'm going through right now. My clients love what I do. When the art goes up on their wall, they rave about me. I've got great reviews. I have to find more of them. Like you said, the 20%.
Well, yeah. And I think as you develop the profile beyond net worth, because when I work with attorneys, my attorneys tell me, I said, tell me about your best client. They will say, I want the person that's got legal problems and has lots of money. That's their profile.
My avatar is in the chat.
Okay. I can't see it. The point is that you're going to find the right people. You have to have a process on the second part. When you talk with them, you're now rediscovering the profile with them. You know why they want to buy your art. That's probably more important to you and to them than anything else. Make sense?
Sure.
That's going to streamline the process. At some point, you're going to talk to someone or a member in your team, but it has to be consistent. It has to be a consistent conversation with the right questions, the right bullet points. Make sense?
Okay.
Because you start getting a lot of leads in, you now have a different issue than not enough. So you have to streamline that process. So you're putting the right people into the next step. All I do is go to a next step. They pass step 1, right? Then they get to go to step 2. The right people will go to step 2. So step 1 is probably more of a pre-qual. You're going to qualify them, right? Let's go to step 2. Step 2 is more of a deeper dive. Now you've got a good client.
So that's when I'm looking for patterns. The ones who get to step 2 and step 3, look for the patterns, why they're getting to those steps.
Yeah, you look for the patterns. If you look at the profile, you'll see the patterns, and you'll see that. You'll see the patterns. And what your first step is, once you're talking to them on the phone or via Zoom or whatever you're doing, now you're asking questions that reveal the patterns to you. And there's only like a handful of questions that you need to ask in that interview. That qualifies them to go to the next step. Make sense?
You said 4 questions.
5.
Where were those 5 questions?
Well, that depends on your business. That's where we need to spend some time to figure that out.
Okay.
Because they're different for every business. Okay. And so once we figure that out, then you're going to know. Oh, and now I know. And you know it in your guts. Yeah. My clients, all of them say this. If they say that, I know they're not a client because it just doesn't work.
Huh.
I love it. Jack, thank you so much for being willing to do an on-the-spot case study right here with Oz, right? This is how you know Jack knows his stuff because there he is, just walking through right on the spot, right?
Thanks.
That's fantastic.
Sure. It's fun. Yeah. If you would like to reach out to me, Oz or Joel, you're 100% welcome to. You can put stuff in the chat. I guess Christine will give me the chat. Okay. And we'll reach out and we'll chat some more.
Yeah, I'm going to connect with you on LinkedIn later today.
Please. I will accept your request. I'll look for it. I'm on LinkedIn as well under my name, Jack Rand.
I got you queued up already.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
And we love that, right? Being able to work together with other people. And this is what it's about. It's about connecting. And actually, Oz, you probably need to go back and respond to some of the chat messages. Somebody says, where can I see Oz's art? So you better go back through the messages and make some responses there.
I don't see that.
I do. Yeah, I saw it, Oz. You have to go up a little bit, I think. 1 second.
So yeah, you just never know where you might find your next client.
There you go.
And once you find them, how do you know they're the right client? It sounds like Jack's got some ideas in mind on how to make that happen. And then how do you close them, right?
Yeah. If you want to jump in for a minute, on finding, the profile of your best client, that's exactly what we do in my Find Your Niche course coming up on June 14th. And information is available for that on my website at jackrand.com. 100% welcome to go there and go ahead and register. And what did I do? If you're listening to this, right, I think I made up a special price of $147. So you get like 50% off, right? If you use, I think it's Giver. I have to go look it up. And if I have a problem with that, just let me know and I'll get you in. Reach out to me online on my website. I'll take care of that.
I will scroll your website again so people know how to reach out to you.
Sure.
Right? jackrand.com.
Yep.
And we've got a special coupon code for those of us that are watching and paying attention, right? Giver, and that'll get your book. He's donating his book at no cost to us, so we appreciate that. So if you're interested in finding out a little bit more about what he's talking about, that's going to be a great place to go to get a little bit more in depth. And if you want to talk to them one-on-one, there's a spot on your website to go ahead and book that appointment with them and find out a little bit more about what he can do with your business, right?
Yeah, sure.
I love that. Any more sales questions? If you've got them, pop them in the comments and we'll ask him. We'll put him on the hot seat because he's doing a great job so far because Oz had lots of questions for him. So if you have any more questions, holler at us. Let's hear about those sales questions. And I know a lot of times people don't, like we said earlier, we want to teach and we want to help, but we don't necessarily want to do a hard sales. I don't know about you, but you walk onto that car lot, right? And you hear the people, you're like, oh, you see the salesperson coming, you just want to turn and go the other direction, right? It's like, oh, nobody wants a hard sell, right? But at the same time, you've got to ask for the sale, don't you?
Yeah. You have to ask for the next step. That's all you have to do. And the right people will step forward and do the next step. Like when I was talking to Oz. Okay, want to talk? Sure. Let's talk again. Next step. Okay. So that's all you have to do. Some people are going to say, yeah, I'll tell you my process. My process is I meet someone networking, like today as an event. I'll set up another meeting with them. Call it a virtual coffee meeting. We'll go deeper at the coffee meeting. I'll ask about 5-6 questions. Okay. If they say, yeah, I'm interested, then we'll go and do a deeper dive. From the deep dive and under that discovery session is where we're now going to find out what's the best fit for them to move forward. Could be anything. Could be a class, could be another call, could be whatever it is. Right? We just keep moving them through the process. And people will commit at their own level. Some people do a strategy session with me, which is there's a fee for that. Some people say, yeah, it's a deep dive in your business. You're going to learn more in about 90 minutes with me than we are covered about 3 months of coaching. We'll learn because the deep dive. What I do is I take the form, the pre-work, and you send it back. I send it to you. You send it back to me. I go through it. I go through it step by step. So I show you, tell you exactly what I'm seeing, right? And you ask me questions. I don't hold back. I just tell you what I'm seeing. Then we decide the next step. So you're gonna know what's broken, basically how to fix it, and then we discuss the best way to work together.
Well, and you make a great point, Jack. A lot of times we need somebody from the outside to come in and take a look at our business and tell us what we don't see. Sometimes we're down in the weeds in our own business too much to see some things that are out there. They're like, other people will be like, oh, well, of course. And you're like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Right. So it's nice to have, that's where the coaches come in handy, right? To kind of give you a hand with that and let you know what you may not have noticed on your own because you were just too busy in it. Right.
Oh, absolutely. I've been asked to go inside and work in companies, and I usually to the same work inside. I decline because now once I'm there, I'm in the weeds with them. So I have to be outside. It's like when you see someone that's in the maze, when you're up top, but you can see where they are in the maze. You say turn left, right, and they'll find their way out. If you're in the maze with them, you can't help them a whole lot.
Absolutely. So we've got a question here. Timothy's asking, how do we know when a client is in our sweet spot? When we're evaluating our current clients, how do we know?
Tim, you have to know what your sweet spot looks like. You have to know the profile. Then you'll know if they're in the sweet spot or not. If you don't know that, you have no idea.
I would like to point out that your ideal client should be able to afford you. If not, they're not your ideal client. Just saying. I had clients I've talked to that are like, well, my ideal, I'm like, no.
No. And for me, I usually don't work with startups. And the reason is that one, they're really needy. They need a lot. It's a lot more than I can provide. Number two, they don't pay attention. Number three, they can't afford me. And number four, they know everything. So as usual, I don't work with them.
Everybody's got their sweet spot. And that's not your sweet spot. And half of it is identifying who is and who is not your ideal client. So you don't need to spend your time and energy in those spots, right?
Exactly.
Just as important.
It's critical. It's critical. And because you have to be able to disengage politely when someone's not the right fit. It's smart for them. It's smart for you. And most of the time, they don't know how to disengage. So you teach them. And plus, sometimes you can leverage them. Say, look, I'm looking to meet somebody, right? Like this. Do you know anybody? Yeah, I know somebody. And they'll help you.
Hey, Jack, got a question for you. Since you're talking to, a group of marketers, and, we don't get the opportunity to really dig into the sales side of it too much. I think, this is a nice transition in our overall mastermind sessions to be able to say, okay, let's connect the dots. So in working backwards, as you're generating these 5 important sales questions and people are digging deeper into what their sweet spot is and what it looks like to make a sale or to engage the selling process, could you tie it back for the marketers in the room, especially to marketing? Can we reverse engineer your sales discovery process and turn it into a marketing campaign?
Absolutely. And that's what you should be doing. Because if you're going to look at the quality of the leads you're generating, if you're defining marketing as generating a sales lead, you're now going to, when you look at the sales lead and you start comparing it to the profile of your best client, right, you're going to see if they match. If they're not matching up, something's wrong with their marketing. If they're matching up somewhat, right, then you're somewhat closer. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And so what I'm hearing is your sales questionnaire, your sales qualifying questions become your emphasis on your marketing messaging. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, they're a tool to find out how well the match is. How well. If you define marketing as generating a sales lead, I define sales lead as someone who has raised their hand saying, so to speak, I'm interested in your product or service. Tell me more. That's a lead. Before that, they're a prospect. So now that you are, if you're looking at a sales lead and you're seeing from the questions they answered, like, oh, they're nowhere close. I don't do medical. So if I have a medical doctor reaching out to me, I'm curious. Why are they reaching out to me? Because medical doesn't do work how I work. He may have a side business he wants to develop. Fair enough. So there's got to be that match. You should be able to see it rather quickly. And that's the purpose of your first call. Are they the right fit? If they're not the right fit, totally fine with that. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've talked to someone who is, starting their business and they have some questions. I'll take the time. I'll answer the questions for them. Most of the times they're not going to move forward. I'm fine with that. I'll point them in the direction. If you want to do my class, the class will help you immensely. You're welcome to do it. That's a good next step. Get a copy of my book. That'll help you. Copy of my book, Secrets of a Strategic Business Coach. 10 strategies to build your business faster. That's probably the right fit for them. Some will grab it and run, some won't. But now they're going to move into the process and move to the next step. Did I answer your question, Joel?
Yeah, and I think what's the positive message is that a lot of marketers or their clients or our clients starting in marketing, I think many times they talk about messaging about who they are and what their business is and hope people will go, hey, I need something like that. And I think, the wisdom and knowledge that you bring to the table is, look, let's talk about the sales process first so that we can get our message right and determine why people are going to buy from you and then turn that into an interest creating statement.
Absolutely.
Right.
And Joel, it's good on at least two ways. One way is doing it for the marketer themselves. So now they're doing the right messaging. And number two is when you work with your clients, you can now help them see their profile and develop the messaging. So now you're going to have a longer term client because you're being more effective. So there's two ways you can use it.
Yeah, and I think that's an important distinction because we do know that as marketers, a lot of clients will spend money on advertising and other marketing messaging platforms without really digging deep into the sales process, and just, and it's wasted money, right? Because now they're just throwing mud on the wall rather than having something specific that's going to lead the conversation through the sales process.
Yeah, and you have to also have the correct sales process for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes step to step. So now you're being effective when you do get the person, the lead. You're now assisting them to find out if you're the right fit or where you can point them so they get the right work done. You may not be the right fit. It's okay. Part of your job, I think, is helping them figure out the right fit for them.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that feels good. Because part of my job in doing what I do, I need to make sure I'm the right fit for someone or I'm not doing them a service. If I'm not the right fit, I have to tell them. And get them in the right spot. Then I've served them. See, if I always come from service, it works. If I'm trying to close somebody, it doesn't work. I mean, one time, I told a client we were talking a bit. She wanted to join my group, and we were trying to work out the schedule. I made a couple of suggestions, and finally I ran out of gas. I said, "You know what, Monica? I have no idea what to do." Great clothes, right? She says, "Oh, I've got it. I'll figure it. I got it." And she says, "Oh, I'll move this and I'll move that." "Okay, Jack, we're good. I'll start."
Sometimes it's a matter of helping the client think outside the box.
Yeah. So Tim says if we're not the right fit, we need to let them know. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, he just put my quote in there.
Absolutely, because he loves it. And what doesn't, Julie's talking about, yes, servant leadership, right? So you're singing our song here. We like to give back and help people. And that's kind of our philosophy here at Giver Marketing. So I could see why Timothy was saying we needed to get you on. Come out here and talk with our people.
Well,
It makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your wisdom with us and offering advice and even, being spontaneous and working with Oz right there and doing a whole case study right in front of everybody. That was awesome. So I just want to say thank you. Is there any last tidbits of advice you want to give to our viewers?
Learn the profile of your best customer. Learn that. Get as close as you can. That will help you find more of them. And start asking questions. If you're pitching, if you're talking more than like 30% of the time, you're way overselling.
I love it. Awesome. So if y'all want some more of Jack Rand in your life, check out his website, jackrand.com. Make an appointment with them and chat with them. And he's more than willing to give you a hand. Remember, he's got a book on there you can check out. And the password to get that at no cost is Giver, because he loves us so. Thank you so much for pouring into us today, Jack. Appreciate you.
You're so welcome. My pleasure to be here. Great to work with you.
All right. And thank you to all of our team members that popped in and said hi to us and helped contribute in the conversations today. This is our Tuesday Marketing Masterclass. Every Tuesday, you will find us here. So come hang out with us next Tuesday and find out what we're going to be talking about then. On Wednesdays, we have networking for marketers. So if you're a marketer and you want to tie into the community and get to know more marketers, you can learn how to work together, reach on out and let's all get together and hang out together. Looking forward to it. We'll see y'all soon.
Bye-bye.